Welcome to Eureka Street Crypto. This is my anti-professional crypto channel. I'm just a barely sane dude who fell down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole. This channel is my fumbling attempt to communicate myself outside my own head about my journey in the crypto space. It is basically my brain dump. None of this is actual financial advice. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live at 12:41 in the afternoon on March 6, 2022. This is in my home studio, and I have a guest today. And this is my podcast. This is my brain dump. Usually I do it in the mornings to just try to vent and think things out in this space, because there's always a lot of stuff to think about. And I've been meeting a bunch of people along the way. By my involvement in DAOs, by my just going to this DAO Denver, DAOPlanet conference, well, ETH Denver. I met tons of people there. And one of the people I met that I've been working with in DAOPlanet and Bankless DAO as well is Aaron0x here. So he was kind enough to come to my house and join me on the show so we could talk a little bit about his crypto journey, because that's really what this is all about, is just learning about people's journey into all this, why they're here, what they're doing, because you can approach crypto from so many different angles. And a lot of people just think it's just about meme tokens or speculating and getting on some price action, but there's so much more. So I want to introduce you to Aaron0x. You want to say hi to the world?
Hello, world. G.A. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me, John. This is my sort of first... I guess it's not my first video, but definitely my debut as a crypto enthusiast on YouTube. And I think we're just going to freestyle about some different topics today around DAOPlanet, healthcare.
Yeah. And we have the kids upstairs. So if you hear a bunch of kids screaming, I mean, this is life. And this is what this show is about. It's about real life. It's about what's going on right now. Good, bad, and ugly. And that's what the show is. So first, let's hear a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do in the crypto space, and what brought you in here.
I think, so like most of us, it was like, enticing to be able to make money from crypto. I mean, that was the sort of entry point. And then I started seeing NFTs happen in 2018, 2019. And I'm an artist.
You're early to the NFT scene.
Pretty early. I didn't realize I was at the party with Xcopy and Pyrrhic Victory and Grender and Vincent Van Gogh and all these people. And I was minting a few things, just experimenting around. So mostly I'm just some idiot that's like clicking around everywhere, creating taxable moments and not knowing what's going on, sort of degenerate. But I've always been an artist at heart. And so when I realized there was this way that artists could sell their work, promote their work, and be able to continue to be rewarded for it as time goes on, unlike the current sort of model for selling art. I thought that was really interesting. And that's a lot of the reason that I ended up sort of diving deeper and then eventually getting into DAOs. And now kind of am like a full-time DAOist, I would say.
Full-time DAOist.
I serve the great consensus.
Yeah. Okay.
So people ask me what I do.
Yeah. Serve the great.
What my friends think I do.
It's very meta of you.
And so, a lot of my time right now is going into DAOPlanet, formerly Daoist.xyz, which is kind of a meta coordination hub for
kind of a resource base
event group to promote DAOs. And that's sort of how it all began. And I'm also working on a Houston web3 meetup, which started as the altcoin meetup.
Oh, okay.
And then altcoins, it's still a thing, but it sounds sort of retro.
It does. It's kind of outdated at this point.
So we rebranded it as Web3 Meetup, and it's really just a platform to kind of bring together everybody in the space in Houston. Houston has this energy and healthcare focus, so building out Web3 and having a place where newcomers, experienced programmers, degens, artists, whoever wants to
Yeah.
get in. And so we're hoping towards the end of the year to start having maybe some bigger events. We do something
Okay.
about once a month.
So you helped found this organization?
I'm like a
Early to late, early mid,
late co-founder.
Okay.
It was the altcoin group, and then it kind of died off during
Yeah.
COVID, and then I got involved to kind of rebirth it.
Okay.
Say. The renaissance of the altcoin group as the web3 meetup and the sort of the Phoenix.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I can see Web3 meetups, kind of either being wildly successful or a total dumpster fire as far as just people coming in wanting to speculate and learn about this new, crypto coin, So how do you balance that between the noobs just coming in trying to make a quick buck versus the people who understand the larger picture of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's always people, and that's what a lot of what the group is about, is a lot of people come in there and they're asking you, which coins do we invest in? And I just bought some Shiba token and it went up 20%. It's like, well, that's cool. But really what we're interested here is talking about sort of what are the economic, social, environmental, what is the big picture of Web3? How do you get involved with these participant-owned networks? Like here's one I'm promoting today. Tally. This is the MetaMask for the people. And so we did at the Houston Tech Rodeo last week, or I guess it's still going on, Houston Tech Rodeo.
It's a Houston Tech Rodeo?
Yeah, it's
I don't mean to sidetrack you, but I've never heard of this. And I'm from Houston, by the way. They're born and raised, and it's been a long time since I've lived there, but
I wasn't born there, but I got there as soon as possible. That's what we say in Texas. I don't know too much about the Houston Tech Rodeo.
Okay.
I know the Tech Rodeo is a national brand. They have one in cities all over the country.
Okay.
This past week, it was going on in Houston. We did an event, Intro to MetaMask.
Okay. And these are people coming from the traditional tech space, like Web 2.0 and moving.
It's mostly an incubator.
Okay.
You can apply, I guess, to Houston Tech or to the Tech Rodeo.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is sort of put together a pitch, apply. They'll help you get a team.
Okay.
They'll help with funding and that whole thing. So we had a side event and a panel going on talking about what the future of Web3 and what the future of blockchain is like as part of an event at the ION, which is the innovation center that's part of, I guess it's a collaboration between a bunch of the oil companies, and energy companies, I should say, Rice University, Common Desk, which is part of WeWork now. And so it's the old Sears building in Midtown, and they've turned it into this really cool innovation center. And so they had this event going on all week. We talked on one of the panels about sort of what the future looks like in our view, and then had an event where it was more like newbies, newcomers, showing them how to use MetaMask, which then we got all this sort of bad news about MetaMask being potentially very corrupt and there's a lot of flaws in there, about the approvals, the signing off of the unlimited use of your tokens and things like that. And it's just, I think it's a high barrier sometimes, this whole idea of using the browser wallet to try to get people to enter in the space and to understand that concept. And I know like Near protocols moving towards, domain name type of addresses, and some other protocols have as well. Does Tally have anything like that, or how's it differentiating itself? I don't know too much. I'm not really an expert. I just got on Tally yesterday.
Okay.
Funded the wallet, and I thought, okay. And they've got a swap feature. It's only Ethereum right now, but you can, as an early adopter, I guess, of Tally, you're part of the you're part of the community. You can you can be a part owner of it in essence. And so it works really fast. I'll have to say, it was like funding it and running the transaction was faster than MetaMask. And so I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, I think it has a lot of potential. It needs other coins, but definitely getting that first wallet experience is like, I think it creates an evangelist once you understand like no, it's not about trading tokens on Coinbase,
Yeah.
but it's about actually having this ability to have your identity and your bank account, your crypto bank account, and that can move around the internet with you, and you can interact with all these different dApps, and so
it opens up an entire new world of websites. Basically, you know, when you have your wallet address, you can connect, and it just suddenly, boom, this huge treasure trove of websites opens up, and this capability for you to manage your own finances apart from a bank, and to be in complete control of that and control of your data. There's a lot of data marketplaces. I mean, you could, you know, for instance, Facebook owns all your data. You could take all that information, and if you don't like what Facebook is doing, you can move it over to another social media platform and take your friends with you. That's one of the beauties.
I like to take my friends with me wherever I go.
Like, this party sucks, man. We're going to the one down on the other street. So yeah, it's about, you know, decentralized ID and owning your own data, and that's one of the major concepts about Web3 that drew me in. And this is basically, you're trying to teach people at the Houston Web3 meetup.
I think so. That you're able to participate. You're able to be an owner of the networks in which you participate, and if you think about all the different networks in which you participate, your telecom, your healthcare, which is the one I'm big into and can talk about more, but whatever, your bank, you know, your airline, I don't know. I mean, there's starting to be all these DAO concepts that are owning traditional IRL things. And if you think about what the customer service experience might be like, if your cell phone for your home internet usage, if that person on the phone was part owner of that network, and you were part owner of it, and the incentives were aligned, then I think you just have so much better. I think the experience for everyone would be so much better. To there'd be an incentive for the people providing service and receiving service to want to participate in a more meaningful and purposeful way. And I'm coming from this healthcare background. I grew a healthcare company, and it turned over recently to a large national PT network. And
that's something huge. Healthcare information. And if you're wanting to go from one doctor to another doctor, you don't have to rely on them and their central database to try to, you know, first of all, you have to pay a fee to have them send it over a lot of times from one office to another office. And then second of all, it's centralized, and it's liable to, you know, hacking or any other type of malicious activity. So you could own your own data and then just transfer it over to the new doctor easily, because you're owning it on your own wallet.
There's so many dimensions to it. On the data side, and then also on I think from primary care is where it really makes sense. I mean, most of our medical interactions that happen could be solved right now by your primary care doctor. But they don't really have the incentive to do that. I mean, how many minutes did you spend with your primary care doctor last time you went to see them? Like 5, 10, 15? And then did they like do anything after that? Did they say like, oh, here's a script?
They were just trying to sell me drugs.
Right, exactly. They're like, okay, let me push you on to the specialist. Because that's their incentive within this centralized network. And so if doctors and patients were owners of the healthcare network, your primary care doctor really could solve about 80% of your problems. That you go into most of the time, people just go to the emergency room because they know they're going to get care immediately. And then you have some huge.
Then the massive bill. You know, on a high deductible plan, and it's just a nightmare.
I mean, there's so many ways in which decentralizing the internet and decentralizing things in the real world, I think will just, you know, I'm hoping that we'll start to see more of those concepts take place. I think
we could even monetize your data too. You could put it anonymously up on a data marketplace, and then somebody could come across and be like, I need data of, you know, this specific type. Is it available out there? They don't see whose data it is, but they can use it for their reports and analyses to be able to run it and process that data, and they pay you for it. So
there was I've seen a bunch of concepts like that for
Yeah.
telecom, for use it, the data you collect on your phone. Actually, one of the sponsors from DAO Denver, I think Republic.
Oh yeah, Republic. Yeah, Keith
is-
Axline. I'm actually
he's-
interviewing him next weekend.
Oh, okay, there you go. So
Yeah.
There's my little bit of more influencing for the day.
Yeah.
I just there's really cool concepts with how to use data. Data is kind of the low-hanging fruit all around to change people's behavior and get them into Web3.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, there's to get a little meta on you. the whole concept of you learn in preschool, everybody's special. God loves you the way you are. And it's like, but we are all data creation devices. And every single one of our experiences is unique and can be used by somebody somewhere. And you can get paid for that. And up until now, centralized companies have been taking possession of that data and in a sense taken possession of who you are and then using that data to capitalize and get rich. So instead, with your unique and experience, good, bad, or ugly, whatever it is, it's valuable to somebody. So you are valuable to another person or another entity.
you're not special, but you're valuable.
Exactly. Yes, you have worth. Whatever you think, you have worth.
I have a lot of, and I think a lot of us have a lot of hesitation about the metaverse or the metaverses, the little metaverses.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing we could talk about.
Metaversitos.
Metaversitos. La metaversa.
La metaversa. I like that.
But right, there's the big metaverse and there's the little metaverses. But I think, a lot of us have hesitation about living in these virtual spaces.
I can understand why. They say it's like a trap for enslavement, centralized control. So
L1's got to be decentralized. But I mean, one of the things that I think is really beautiful about these metaverses is that, like you're saying, it's like we are creators. And like that's our primal instinct.
Yeah.
No matter whether it's to create new life or to just build things, and the metaverse, the opportunity of these metaverses allows us to fulfill our primal instinct, to do it potentially freely and without limits. I mean, the world is getting to this point of like resources are very scarce. Look at the property market here in Austin. It's one of the
we're approaching some sort of singularity too. And
right.
And
the metaverse allows you a place to kind of infinitely create. And
that's true. It opens up an entire new vacuum that we're going to have to, fill, and it's unlimited. And, so what is the balance between decentralized and centralization? And we're running kind of a fine line, I think, between slavery and freedom, with all this stuff. And
I know it
do you have any thoughts about that?
But it like seems like there's a great battle going on between like good and evil and like
Yeah.
light and darkness. And
Which one will you choose?
Centralization, decentralization.
I get it from both sides, and honestly, with the comments on my channel, some total libertarians, and then other people that want centralized control and just want to jump into XRP. So it's just all types out there in the crypto space.
XRP,
Yeah.
you know me.
Yeah.
My sense is that as long as the first layer is decentralized, and that's the important thing, is that you have a censorship-proof layer 1 where transactions can occur, pretty much freely.
Yeah.
And securely. I mean, the layer 1 needs to at least solve part of this trilemma. But then on top of that, I think if you have layer 2s or layer 3s even, which I guess...
What would that even look like? I don't want to sidetrack you, but...
No, layer 3s, I guess, are interoperability.
Okay, all right.
Like
blockchain
Cosmos,
3.0. Yeah.
Blockchain 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, allowing multiple blockchains to interact freely. But I think I'm personally like, centralization is great. I mean, I don't, in some ways, for some things.
Okay, that's a novel concept for me. So please elaborate. Why is centralization great whenever we're so adamant? A lot of people are so adamant about decentralization, and that's kind of what got this movement going. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's what got Bitcoin going, was the whole idea of decentralization.
I definitely think decentralization is the goal.
Okay.
And that's why we're so excited about this great work of decentralization
Okay.
because freedom from censorship is awesome. But I also would like to be able to have more convenience around transactions that I choose to be centralized.
Sure. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like layer 2, the like upper levels of this new internet we're building can be centralized, and I'm willing to give up some of my freedom to say I trust this community, I trust this group, these actors to handle my data,
sure,
my creations, whatever, in a centralized way. But
okay.
But that's not the only choice. I mean, if I want to stay decentralized, I can. And so having that first layer that's like nobody can touch that, but then on top of it to say, all right, if you're gonna do participate in I guess thinking about it as layers. Layer was scalability. Layer 2 is really scale. Maybe not the right way to think about it. But,
sure.
As additional layers are packed upon this scaling of the blockchain, I think it's okay to have centralization for some things. Like I'm in certain DAOs, for instance, like the DAO that we're most active in, DAOPlanet. I mean, we're in this process of having it become more decentralization, of setting up protocols and a governance structure and a token structure that's makes it more easy for it to be distributed, decentralized, autonomous.
Well, I think that you really expressed that well. You're leaving room for nuance between, decentralization and your ability to choose autonomously who the trusted parties will be.
Right.
So that's kind of freedom in a way. So you can be completely decentralized and you have a car. And you're like, well, you can be given the tools to do that yourself, but do you know how to work on a car? No, you have a trusted entity that can do that. And you have the freedom to choose who you're going to do that and not somebody telling you where you're going to send your car. So.
I do like working on my car, but not being forced to do it all myself. Some of my colleagues and friends, and I was studying, we're trying to make these open source mobile phones.
Yeah.
Which is really cool if you could modularly upgrade your phone as hardware improved, but it's just a lot of responsibility to be, and I don't know how you find DAO life and decentralized crypto life, but it's a big burden on your individual time and effort. I mean, it's 24/7.
It really is, yeah.
And it's overwhelming. And if I could have help with that by pooling, what I do into a trusted body of individuals or mechanics, or should we start Mechanic DAO?
That'd be a guild, wouldn't it?
Mechanic guild.
Yeah. So that leads me to my other question. Okay. What was the first DAO you joined, and how much did you know about DAOs before you joined a DAO, and what have you think you've learned since then that differentiates from what you came into it as?
Okay, so I learned don't join a DAO. I'm trying to think. It may have been DAOPlanet. I mean, I thought I knew about DAOs, and then as I got more deep down the rabbit hole, I realized, no, you don't really know that much. And I after 6 months or so of being very active in DAOs, you sort of become an expert very quick.
Sure, yeah. Trial by fire.
Trial by fire, and I'm lucky enough to have had the time to really explore deeply. I think it may have been DAOPlanet. I think that was
the first one. Okay.
I think, so
they started early last year. Yeah.
Right. So I got involved sometime last year. I was at the NFT.nyc.
Oh, okay.
And then since then, now I think I'm in hundreds of Discord servers.
Oh man, those Discord servers, they can add up. You gotta go through and clean them up after a while.
I've cleaned them all up. I've created my own servers.
Yeah.
I started some of my own DAOs, and some of my projects are we're trying to decentralize. And
have you been playing around with a bunch of different platforms, or has everything you've done been on Discord?
I have been a supporter of some other projects
like DAO House, and
I haven't done
Colony
DAO House,
and all that.
Colony, Aragon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be active in all of,
Yeah.
or have some participation in different DAOs.
Okay.
And how about you? Are you?
I've mainly just through Discord. I started out with Bankless DAO, and that was just because I got that airdrop, and that was my first experience with it. And I just kind of just got shoved into the AV guild, and it was just me and 2 other people at that time. And then now it's blossomed out to what it is now. And then one of the people in there, DAO Master Grant, he came into one of our meetings. It's like, oh, we have this other DAO called Daoists, and I was like, yeah, go give it a look, and then Daoist just has these regularly 3 times a week, just weekly freestyle meetings where everybody just kind of goes in there and just kind of, shoots the breeze for a while. And it's so informal to where I just was working and would just put it on and we just listen to each other breathe sometimes. Yeah.
Actually, I think once in a while we do like a group meditation.
Well, yeah, literally. Yeah, sometimes
we did that during DAO Denver because
yeah.
But yeah, it was nice joining DAOPlanet at the beginning in season 0 because I also joined Bankless and I'm a recent member of I joined this season Friends with Benefits and also Opolis DAO is something we should.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Too.
Yeah,
I'm getting pretty active in there because of my healthcare background, and benefits background, but. Yeah, it's a little challenging, I think, if you haven't been in other DAOs before to get into some of these bigger DAOs like Bankless just right out the gate. It's a bit overwhelming. And,
that's like a fire hose.
It's a lot going on. Are you in Friends with
No, I'm not, but I feel like I would have been late to the party if I were to join it at this point, So,
the party's growing and growing, I think, with South by Southwest coming up.
That's true, yeah.
They've got all the best parties are with.
All right, yeah.
I don't know
if I'd show up with the passed out people on the couch and the beer cans, be like, hey y'all.
No, it's a pretty I've been to some of the parties and they throw really great events.
So they literally have parties.
And they're like a creative community.
Yeah. Okay.
Really. There are people doing DeFi and NFTs and stuff, but it's really about like creative community there. So, but
okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, Daoists, like I was saying, we'd listen to each other breathe, but it was really just kind of just like as a consistent routine, just kind of getting to know these people, and just tuning them in 3 times a week, and then to the point where I just started like feeling close to them in a way to where I would want to start contributing and producing stuff. And I think that's how a lot of DAOs happen. It's just people end up being online at the same time and they get to know each other.
Definitely. Yeah, and it happens fast and it's really open. With all the other experiences I've had in life and trying to go through school and get a job and people are always telling you, oh, this is what you're good at and this is what you can do. And when I started getting into DAOs, that whole thing flipped on itself. And it's like, what do you want to do and what do you like doing?
Yeah.
And hopefully that matches up with what you're good at, but you tend to figure that out pretty quickly. And that's a real sea change with how we think about the future of work and human organization. And that's a really nice segue to Opolis.
Exactly. Yeah. Like for instance,
work.
DAOs have allowed me to kind of act as an incubator to resurrect some of my old audio visual skills and talents, animation talents. I used to broadcast. I had an FM transmitter in my old house and I had a pirate radio station in South Austin. And and so I just put all that, up for like 10 years and I didn't do jack squat. And then with DAOs, because I was working trying to, keep the bills paid. Then with DAOs, it's allowed me kind of a playground and an incubation space to be able to resurrect some of those skills and to be allowed to suck at something, without worrying about being paid for it right off the bat, and to get good feedback and advice and a level playing field from a lot of the people who are rooted in that industry to allow me to have access to their skills and advice that I normally not able to have. So now as a result, I'm putting in my notice at work. I'm going to be transitioning out of my traditional workplace and then moving into Web 3.0 in the DAO space. But the one thing that keeps people stuck in the traditional workspace is that sense of security, the benefits, the constant paycheck. And the people, people say, well, just follow your passion, throw it to the wind. Well, I can't, I have kids, I have a house, like I got to maintain, my life, not just for me, but for those people around me that depend on me, as you can hear in the background, so it's just like, it's a real tough transition. So Opolis, please explain to me how Opolis is helping people with that.
Yeah, it is a hard transition, and hopefully DAOs can get better at creating bounties that kind of work for everybody to make that transition easier. But yeah, Opolis is a decentralized work cooperative.
Okay.
Which, in practically speaking, you can, as an independent contractor, someone has a single member LLC or a DBA, or
1099,
or a 1099 person. Basically, you can get your healthcare benefits through Opolis, and you also get all of your kind of everything you would get with your benefits in a fiat job.
Okay.
And long-term, short-term disability, workers' comp. I guess not workers' comp, but a 401k or an IRA.
Yeah.
So all these things that when you log into your benefits dashboard, you see, okay, well,
and like tax services and stuff like that.
It's coming.
Okay.
There's definitely help within the community. We're really trying to support each other with with stuff like taxes. I mean, tooling and taxes for crypto jobs is a whole other topic.
We could go down a major rabbit hole,
but definitely. And I actually was speaking with someone just this past week about what are the best. It's been a discussion in the server this week, is what are the best ways to keep track of your taxes if you are getting paid in crypto. But short story long, for participating in Opolis, being one of the employee members, there are two different sets of members. There are employee members like me, who I actually get my benefits through Opolis. So I have it's basically like you'd get on the government exchange, a bronze, silver, gold, platinum plan. And it costs maybe even a little less. Don't quote me on that.
Okay. Good deductible, or is it?
It's more or less the same as what you see with the government sponsored plans.
Sure.
But in return for being part of Opolis, for running your payroll as an independent contractor, so when you join Opolis, you have to convert your LLC.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go from a 1099 to an S corp, and there's help. They'll help you do that. They'll even help you set up the LLC S corp. You're able to then join this cooperative, and then in return for running your payroll through Opolis, you mine payroll tokens.
Huh. Okay.
So you're decentralizing the transaction of running payroll. Right now, payroll's run through, for the majority of companies, it's run through ADP.
Yeah.
We used to use I don't want to say all the names of these companies because I'm not here to rep them, but there's some great ones out there if you need a payroll.
You know who we're talking about.
You know who you're talking about. Anyway, so I mean, those payroll companies are the ones that are essentially mining that token now.
Okay.
And they charge you a fee for it.
Okay.
So in this case, you get a token called work.
All right.
And it's on Polygon. So it's a second layer.
Nice. Okay.
So it's cheap to transact. And so every time I run my payroll, I get a credit of work token. And then every epoch, however you choose to say that word, it gets added to my.
Is that in proportion to the amount you receive on your paycheck?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And can you stake that and help
it's
secure
staked? Yeah. Okay. So I'm staking it now to help secure the network.
Yeah.
I really believe in the Opolis concept.
Okay.
And that we should be able to reap the rewards of that.
Okay.
Transaction. So you can stake it, you can trade it back to ETH.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a question then. Is Opolis a DAO itself? Because how does that work if you're DAO based in most places, and Wyoming, they recognize DAOs, but you still have to have a couple actual names on the registry. And I know I learned at DAOPlanet, Marshall Islands is like the first place in the world that's allowing DAOs to be people as a whole and to register. So how does Opolis operate in that fine line of regulation and all that?
So I am not I'm not part of the Opolis company, but
so that's a company though.
It's a company. It's not I mean, I think their goal is to DAOify.
Yeah.
But right now it's a Colorado cooperative.
Okay.
Entity.
Yeah.
So it's it's not a DAO.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet, right?
We're not there yet. They're trying to make the system work as well in Puerto Rico and in Canada. That's the next step. So we'll see. I mean, the community, say, and the board of stewards, as they're called, really want there to be a way for people like myself, who are just people like me, who are contributors to the Discord and the community, to have a way to have a benefit for contributing. So that would be nice. That would work through a DAO LLC potentially, but we're just not there yet. Yeah,
no, I mean, baby steps all the way. All this is still super new, innovative technology. If you're in this space, and if you're actually watching this video, you are catching things at the very beginning. And if you understand DeFi at this point, you are one of the few. I mean, there are a lot of people. There's fiat currency, which is at here, and then there's the people that have bought Bitcoin, which is right here. There's the people that understand DeFi, which is about right here, this many people. Then there's the people that understand layer 2, which is like that many people, and then the DAO space as well, I would say, so you're probably super early if you're understanding a lot of this stuff, I would think.
Yeah, I know it's a high level discussion. It's nice to have these chats, John, because like a lot of the time I feel pretty isolated from people, because the world that's going on in my head and the world that's going on for most people, it starts to become really different. And they say when you do a PhD or something like that sort of intense study, that more and more about less and less.
The more you know, the less you understand.
Or hopefully you're more open to bigger things. Anyway, ETH Denver, we saw each other at ETH Denver and DAO Denver, and it's just awesome to be able to get together in real life, whatever that means.
Absolutely. I mean, you're my first guest to come in here on this show ever. So this is, I never thought that I would, ever have anybody at my house be on this YouTube channel. So, I mean, we're pretty much out of time here, but I want to thank you so much for coming on. And I mean, I don't know if you want people contacting you or not, but how can people get a hold of you if you would like that? Or do you just want to come in completely anonymous and not bothered?
People can get a hold of me on easiest way is probably my link tree, which has it's linktree / which is linktr.ee/Aaron0x, and that connects to all my socials.
And a lot of people aren't familiar with what Linktree is. Linktree is the place. linktr.ee is a place where you can put all your social media addresses in one place. And I don't take for granted that everybody kind of understands a lot of this stuff. This is a lot of different people far and wide in the world have different priorities, and so I don't assume that everybody knows everything.
Definitely. There's a lot to unpack, but also come join the Houston web3 meetup. It's a really open community. If you're just learning, if you're an expert, it's on meetup.com and
meetup.com. Okay.
Houston web3 meetup.
Right on.
Thanks, John.
Well, thanks a lot, Aaron. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, goodbye, world.
Peace out.
Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.